The wind whispered through the trees, carrying secrets of the forgotten woods. There was a time when people would say the forest was alive, that it had a soul, a will of its own, and deep within it stood a cabin, long abandoned, yet never truly empty. They said it was cursed, that something watched over it. Mia and Jack were no believers in stories or superstition. The warnings from the locals were just tales to them. But as the night deepened, they felt something strange. The air grew thick, the shadows stretched unnaturally. And it wasn't just the wind anymore. Something or someone was breathing behind them. The night was too quiet. Mia couldn't shake the feeling that eyes were upon them. Every crackle of the fire was louder than it should have been. Every rustle in the woods sending chills down her spine. And then the creak of the cabin door. It was impossible, they thought. It had been locked tight when they arrived. But now it was open ever so slightly. Jack stepped inside, his feet echoing in the empty house. The smell of decay hit them like a slap in the face. Cobwebs covered everything, old furniture rotting in the corners. But it wasn't the state of the cabin that terrified them. It was the floorboards, old and worn, that had been disturbed. Someone had been inside. Someone had been watching them. And now they were no longer alone. In the shadows, something moved. A figure, tall and distorted. It didn't walk, it glided. Mia's heart raced. Her breath caught in her throat. Jack turned, but the figure vanished in an instant, as though it had never been there. He turned back to her, his face pale. But Mia knew. The presence was real. It was watching them, waiting. They ran. They didn't stop. The moon had disappeared, swallowed by the thickening clouds, leaving them in pitch-black darkness. Their footsteps were loud against the forest floor, but no matter how fast they ran, it was always just behind them. Jack stumbled, falling to the ground. Mia screamed for him, but when she turned around, it was already too late. Mia fell, the weight of dread sinking into her bones. The figure stood above her, its hollow eyes staring deep into her soul. She had never felt fear like this. It wasn't just watching her. It was feeding on her terror. And as its long, bony hand reached down to her, she knew it had been waiting for her for so long. The woods claimed them, and as for the cabin, it still stands, waiting for the next curious soul who dares to enter. The watcher is always there, watching, waiting. And one day, you'll hear it call your name. And when you do, you'll know it's already too late.